Castillo morning show. You know it is a Thursday, so you know it's time to. Everybody bops their head on that hip hop beat. Miss Kibra is in the building, keeping Connecticut healthy. What are you going to be talking to us about today?
A very serious issue in our community. As a matter of fact, one of the most serious health problems in the black and brown community, which is diabetes mellitus. And or sugar to some
The
folks.
sugar.
But diabetes mellitus is a group of diseases that result in either too much or too little blood glucose or blood sugar circulating throughout your body. It could be an issue with your pancreas. It could be an external issue where you obtain this because you eat too much of the wrong things or you're overweight. And so I'll talk a little bit about the most common in our community, which is type 2 diabetes mellitus. And it used to be called non-insulin dependent diabetes. And it's a chronic condition that affects the way the body processes blood sugar or glucose. So more often than not, you see high numbers, and so sometimes people have to use insulin or oral anti-glycemics to bring down their blood sugars. And then type 1 is juvenile diabetes, a little less common, but that is completely insulin dependent. Usually people have are on insulin pumps from childhood, and that is also a chronic condition, but this has to deal with the function of the pancreas. So the pancreas produces little to no insulin. And then something else that is often seen in our community is gestational diabetes. So while you're pregnant, your blood sugars go up, and that's usually treatable in short term. But some of the symptoms of diabetes include excessive, so not just, you're hungry, but excessive hunger, excessive thirst, and pretty severe or you'll know fatigue different than what you've experienced. And I think we got a witness in the building.
Yeah, yeah.
Increased urination is also something that you'd see, potentially blurred vision depending on how advanced your symptoms are without treatment. And then you may find yourself like having really hard time healing wounds. So that's another thing. And some of the problems that untreated diabetes can cause are damage to the kidneys, the nerves, your feet, and the nerves in your feet and your eyes. So that's why there are visual disturbances. That's why a lot of people have pins and needles in their feet, or they have no feeling. So they can easily get a cut on their toe or on their feet somewhere and not know that it's there, and it becomes worse, and it can lead to amputations. So it's really important. But other long-term risks can be for heart disease, bone and joint disorders, long-term skin, digestive issues. Something really important for men and women to think about is sexual dysfunction. If you have untreated diabetes, problem with your teeth and your gums, and again, loss of limb, and it can ultimately lead to death because of the damage that it caused to your other organs.
Question for you, and then Marquette, I want to go to you after, if you
Sure.
don't mind.
Yeah,
Share your
please do.
personal story. When you find out that you have diabetes, and now you have to alter your diet completely, and then you stray away from that diet, even if it's momentary, what type of effects will that have on you with that sickness?
So when we test for diabetes, we test the A1C. Is usually how we figure out how bad your diabetic state is. So and then I'm going like around to answer your question. But if you are, depending on how much damage is done, so if your A1C has consistently been high, that's when you have damage to your surrounding organs and you have these subsequent problems. Occasional treat, we actually encourage diabetics to, treat yourself one day a week in moderation or something like that. But an occasional raising of your blood sugar is not something that we'd like to see. But, if that happens once in a while, it won't negatively affect your overall outlook too bad. It'll be a little blip on the radar, but overall your A1C will still be good if you take a day, a month, or to splurge a little bit.
Okay. And your personal account, because you've experienced this.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about it, Marquette.
I mean, I was, like Kieber said, I was thirsty, the frequent urinations, and I just, again, I just thought it was from me ripping and running. But once I got there and they told me that my blood sugar was at 1050, I was like, wow, it was that serious. So anyone that is out there, and if you feel yourself, you needing to drink like a gallon of water every second, and you're going to the bathroom every second, please go see your doctor and get that checked out. Also, it's okay to, like Kira said, eat once in a while, because I do. I love to have my ice cream once in a while, but again, in moderation. But also being on this, it was like a gift and a curse. Like, I lost a lot of weight because now I'm eating, a lot better. I'm taking out like a lot of the white carbs, rice, potatoes, adding more protein. So, you'll see a significant effect to your body, and, you'll feel better too. So.
And, if you are diagnosed with diabetes, you can start lifestyle changes like he spoke of, losing weight, exercising, just changing your diet. The American Diabetic Association has menus and different dietary options. Be careful, because sometimes when they send you in the opposite direction of more sugar, you might end up with items like that have more salt in it. And then that's another problem that we talked about last week, hypertension. Right. So just know that it's an overall healthier lifestyle. You can't just say, all right, I won't eat sugar, but I'm balling out with the salt. It's not going to work out, So, just try to be more healthy in our daily lives.
Being pregnant with Cannon, I had gestational diabetes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, legs were so swollen.
Yeah.
Thank God for grace and
heart.
mercy.
Yes. Only
And labor.
And the temporariness of gestational diabetes.
There you go. Thank you so much, Kibra. You always come in and drop that knowledge. It is keeping Connecticut healthy on a Thursday. Always encouraging you to
Go see the doctor.
I hope you're bopping your head with us to that. It's the Juan Castillo Morning Show. More after this.